So it seems like we've got some of our normal weather back, and it's back to being nice and blowy outside. And I am having a couple of problems with this whole setup. Now I'm going to go outside and we're going to film the turbines just for a minute. It is pretty windy. There's a lot of wind noise. I'm not going to try to talk over it. I'm just going to try and show what they're doing. I'm going to take a moment to look at the Heli, because the wind's picking up enough that it's actually furling out of the wind, so you guys can see that action. So if I sit there and look at that for a little bit, that's why. I'm just waiting to see if it'll move. I will probably mute the sound because my phone does not deal well with wind noise at all. So let's go outside and take a look at things. Man, it's getting it. Okay. Now, just in case I can't be heard, that's the 400, that's the 700, that's the I-1500, that's the Heli, and this one's dummy. It doesn't do anything. Hopefully that showed the furling a little bit. I wasn't looking at my camera. I know it was pointing at the turbine. I could see it with my eyeballs. I hope you guys can see it too. It is a neat little action whenever it tilts back. Even whenever the wind is hitting it really hard and it's folded all the way back, it's still spinning and making power. So I like the way, I do like the way that works. Just to go over this again right quick, I know that if you've watched the previous videos, I've gone over this setup quite a bit, but I'm going to try to start just going over it really fast with each new video, so anybody who starts at this point can see what I've got going on. And I do make little changes periodically, so it'll just keep everybody up to date. This is the 700 and this is the ISTA-BREEZE I-1500. These two are going to my 24 volt circuit. This one is the 400 watt turbine, and this is the Heli 2.0. So now, the first issue that I'm having is on this 24 volt circuit. I've got these going to these 2 meters right here. You can see the numbers that they've... Hey. This is what kind of peaks we saw over the night. So 750 watts out of the ISTA-BREEZE, 540 watts out of that out of that 700. Now, the problem that I'm having is that this little controller, whenever it says the battery's full, it shuts off that relay. It says that's too much, and it tries to dump everything. But if it's just coming off of the battery like this, it doesn't have any way to facilitate that. So I mean, I even tried hooking up a resistor to the to those dump load terminals just to see, and no, all that does is break a turbine if that's what you got. Now, whenever it shuts off that whenever it hits that 32 volts, it kills that relay, turns the relay off. And then that unloads the whole system. Those two batteries, they don't offer enough resistance for those turbines. So if there's good wind going on and that inverter turns off, these batteries can't keep the turbines under control. So they spool way up, voltage stays way above that 32 volts, and it has to wait for the wind to completely die before it comes back. But so long as the wind is not being absolutely nutty, it actually is working quite well. I'm going to have to figure out a way to keep the voltage under control. I might have to. I might try doing more batteries. I might try setting up. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll have to figure it out. Something that I did learn, though, is that this relay, the input is supposed to be 3 to 32 volts DC. I did not know this about the leads here. I thought that they would be DC out there because that's what's coming in. I thought that it just turned on battery voltage to these leads. It does not. These leads are actually three-phase AC. So that was a neat thing to discover. Right now, even though it says 3 to 32 volts DC, this relay is being triggered off of 50 to 60 volts AC. And it seems to be working. We'll see if it continues to work that way. Now, the next issue that I've got, the 400, I've been really happy with the 400. It's done really great ever since I got it. The Heli is gonna be a little bit of trouble. Not much. Right now, just over the night, as high winds as we've had, it only kicked out about 1,500 watts. It peaked at 34 amps and 1,545 watts. And that's going to the 36 volt bank. Now the issue is that 36 volt bank is dragging it down. I can look out there and see it. Just the way it's running, it's like it's being anchored whenever it should be spooling up more. I can look at all the other turbines and see that the way that they're reacting to the wind, it's not speeding up at all because those that battery bank is basically just an anchor. So we are going to come back and we're going to set that up on a 48 volt bank, and I think that that's going to help a lot. Another thing that I've noticed with it is I've said this several times in previous videos that it seems to have really crummy low wind startup, and other people have said it probably needs some break-in time to run, and I understand that. The I-1500 was the same way. It took a little bit of time being in the wind before it really started working the way it does now. Now it turns real freely. I think that after a little bit of break-in time, the Heli's going to do the same thing. But once it's even now it seems to be starting up in a little bit lower wind. I think that once that thing is loosened up a little bit and on a 48 volt bank, we're going to see much nicer numbers coming out of it. So that's just a little update. I wanted to, since we had some decent wind this morning, I just wanted to go over it while the setup was actually doing something. So that's that. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe. Have a wonderful day. Please subscribe if you haven't, because it helps me out. And I'm going to have a couple of more updates coming up very soon. I've got a new turbine that I'm putting together. I have... What else do I got? I got a couple of toys coming. I'm going to have that 48 volt bank set up. A couple of updates, a couple of new toys. There are things on the horizon. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.